Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of going through each AFL club's best 22 for 2024, and today we're going to be looking at the Port Adelaide Footy Club. Okay, so starting with their backline, which will have quite a couple of new faces in Zerk Thatcher and Radaglia. Also Burton, Houston, All-Australian outstanding Aaliyah, who is also an All-Australian a couple of years back. I think he'll benefit a lot from Radaglia and Zerk Thatcher coming to that side, free him up a little bit more to play his intercepting game, which is his strength, and Miles Bergman as well plays the back line. It's probably still not an elite back line, but they've definitely got a lot more depth there now with Zerk Thatcher and Radaglia, both who have been okay at their previous clubs, probably not standout defenders by any means, but the potential is definitely there, still relatively young for key position players. So the Power will be hoping for them to add to their defensive stocks, which I'm sure they will, and make them better in that area, which is where they struggled a little bit in 2023. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how that defence will go in 2024. Now looking at the midfield, Soldo in the ruck, Butters, Rosie, Farrell and Wines, and then horne-francis. The three of Butters, Rosie, horne-francis, that's as good as it gets as far as a young midfield core goes. As I showed last year, outstanding. Butters and Rosie in particular, horne-francis a couple of years younger, so still finding his way, but I have no doubt he'll be an absolute star of the competition in due course. Just, the sheer power he has in the contest is outstanding and will be unmatched in a few years' time, I have no doubt. Soldo, who they've brought across from the Tigers, will be their number one ruck. They struggled a little bit in the ruck department last year, so they brought in Soldo. So that will definitely help them a lot in that area, who wasn't quite getting enough opportunity as the number one ruck at Richmond with Nankervis, obviously, but I think he has all capabilities to be a very solid number one ruckman for the Power. So it's a very strong midfield, and that's probably their biggest strength, you would say. The forward line, Pepper, Marshall, McEntee, Rioli, Dixon and Georgiades, who returns from injury last season. Pepper had somewhat of a breakout year, I thought, in 2023. Really essential part of this Port Adelaide side, very underrated. Marshall, a young developing key forward, starting to enter the prime of his career. They'll be hoping he can go to the next level. And Dixon has been such a stalwart of this side for quite a while now. It's just about him being out there as often as possible, because when he is out on the ground, the Power look a lot stronger in that forward half. Rioli was a good recruit. McEntee was solid. Sort of came onto the scene last season, and I don't see any reason why he won't be a regular in the Port Adelaide side again. On the bench, Burn Jones, bit of a swing man. I still probably prefer him down back. It'll be interesting to see where he plays. Drew, Lockie Jones and Finlayson as well. I've picked just ahead of Lord, but I'd be not surprised if Lord in due course overtakes a couple of the forwards in this side and becomes probably the main figurehead really of this Port Adelaide forward line, who is very good, particularly in that final. So let me know if you think he should be in the 22 Power fans. But as it stands, I've gone with Dixon, Marshall and Finlayson as the key forwards, and then sort of Georgiades as another one there. So it's a pretty tall forward line, really, but it'll be interesting to see how they work together. So yeah, that's the Port Adelaide side I have gone with. Probably too good to miss finals. Whether they're good enough to really contend for a premiership, I'm not so sure, but I guess we'll wait and see. But it's those three in the midfield that I touched on earlier, which will really, whether or not they're quite ready to take them to the promised land, remains to be seen. But definitely they're three pretty good assets to have long term for the Power. So Let me know if you feel like I've let anybody out, as always, and tune in next time when Kai goes through his Tiger side. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.